Good afternoon, everybody. I don't know why I'm saying good afternoon. They could be watching it in the morning.
I do.
Hello. Thanks for joining us. Today I have Carla here. I'm gonna say again, but it might not be again because it might be the first one that you've seen Carla in.
We're filming a few videos.
We're filming a few videos, and why did I just have to repeat that? You'd already said it. Why did I need to repeat it?
Why did she have to repeat that? I'd already said it. Why did she need to repeat it? Should we do that all the way through?
No, it's very dull. I'm bored of it already. We are doing, as you would have seen from the title, a Room 101 video, which we call it a Room 101 video. I like to say things that grumpy old women can moan about.
Things that can get in the bin.
Also. Get in the bin,
Things that can just get in the bin.
Things that are really annoying.
We could be here weeks.
We could, but we've only written down 3 each. We're also going to do another one of these over on Carla's channel. Yeah. So if you enjoy this one, I don't know if it will be there yet, but I'll put Carla's channel link below in case you don't already subscribe to her. If
why
not,
wouldn't you?
Why not? And, you put your hair up as well.
Yes. Yes, I was going to look like a whole new person was my plan.
You look like a whole new person.
Thank you.
Yes, we're going to do another of these on Carla's channel, which may or may not already be up, and if it's not, it will be soon. So do go over and watch that. Would you like? What?
I was going to say, so we've got 3 each. We thought we'd keep it down to 3 each per video.
Because as we said, we could be moaning about stuff for literally years.
Yeah.
Feel like we're quite... If there was a PhD in grumpy old women...
I'd get whatever the top score is for a PhD. Can you get like 2-1 or 2-2? Or how does it work in PhDs? So it's just
degree,
you just have one or you don't.
You could have a master's.
I could get
PhD's above a master's.
Yeah. So. I could rule the world if it was based on what things you don't like. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, would you like to start?
I will begin. I will begin.
You
My first thing. Tiny cars. Now, I'm nothing against tiny cows. Tiny cows are fine.
Do you know that you can we just digress for a minute here? God, I feel like the two Ronnies. The small one, obviously, because he's the one that digresses, isn't he?
He does digress,
yes. Yeah, tiny cows is a thing. I saw it on TikTok. You can get a real life tiny Highland cow.
And keep it as a pet.
You can.
Why? Why do you want to though? Why would you? Who goes, what I need is a cow? Because what I need more of in my carpets is cow pat. You can't train your cow. You can't house train a cow, can you?
I wouldn't have thought so.
I don't know if cows... Some animals
can live in the house. Does it not have to? I don't know.
Some animals don't know when they're going, do they? You know, some animals have bowel control. You can train a dog to wait until it's outside.
This is taking a turn.
Some animals don't have bowel control. They just go.
Rats.
Yeah, mice pee wherever they. So I don't know if cows have bowel control. And if they don't have bowel control, you can't house train them.
There's a thought.
You
can't unthink now, can you, viewers?
If anybody out there knows.
If anybody out there is still watching at this point.
Clicking off in droves.
Let's get back to the tiny cars, Carla.
Tiny cars, not tiny cows. I'm fine with the tiny cows. Tiny cars. And I'm fine with tiny cars in principle, although if you buy one, you do look like you've escaped in a Heeley, careering around. But it's tiny cars in parking spaces. I think car parks should have separate tiny car parking spaces for the tiny cars to park in, so that when I'm driving along looking for a space, I don't see what I think is a space, go to turn into it and discover somebody's left their smart car in it.
Oh, I see what you mean. There's too far forward in the space.
Or if you're going to park in the tiny car, in the big car parking space, which is getting harder and harder to say, you should need to line up the back of your car with the entrance to the space, not pull all the way forward into the space. Because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of going, there's a space, and going all the way down a line of, and then going, no, there's not space. In the bin. Get in the bin with your tiny car, or at least your tiny car poor parking skills.
You could say the same about mopeds, couldn't you?
I will. Don't start me on moped. I feel the same about anything. And my point is just that if you're going to park in the car parking space, then line the rear of your vehicle, whatever you're driving, your smart car, your Heeley, your moped, whatever it is you've arrived on.
What's a Heeley?
Have you not seen Heeleys? They're those trainers with wheels in the heels that you just...
Well, yeah, but
I'm going to get you some Heeleys.
Oh, no, I do know what they are. I was thinking it was a type of car.
No, it's never. That's what I'm saying. If you drive a smart car, you look like you're in a Heeley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they're tiny.
Right, I get the comparison now.
So yeah, just, you know, if you I'm all for people having smaller cars. I realise that's much better for the planet, and if you don't need a large car, then I get it. I get all of that. But please, when you park, line up the rear of your car with the rear of the car next to you, regardless of where the front of the car is, so that I don't try and park in your boot. That's all I'm saying. Get in the bin. Right. Are you glad you thought of this topic?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can put tiny cars in parking spaces, not generally, but in parking spaces.
Are we going to let them vote in the comments to what they think can go in what car?
They can think, what can go in and what can't. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So my first one is wasps. And I have got no mitigating
You do not need any mitigating, they can just go.
The thing is, in this country, we don't get much of a summer, do we? Well, we haven't done since COVID, yeah. COVID could get in the bin as well. We don't get much of a summer. And when you get a nice day where the sun's shining, it's not raining, you can sit outside, you don't get it that often. And how often in this country is it bloody spoiled by wasps?
Why do they want to sit on humans?
What? Yes.
Why? You're a wasp. You've got the freedom of the entire world. Why do you want to sit on me?
Yeah. It's mostly food related, isn't it? If you've got a food or
I
a
haven't
drink,
always
of course,
got
they
cake.
want that.
Not always.
But yeah, they're so persistent, aren't they?
Yeah.
Many years ago, we were on holiday in Spain with my parents, and we were sitting around having breakfast, and my dad was at one end of the table, and I was at the opposite end of the table, and we were plagued by wasps. So yes, Spanish wasps can also get in the bin.
German
not just
wasps
British
as well.
All wasps.
I went on holiday with my parents to Germany when I was about 13, and it was a traumatic time. We were on the Rhine, and they were having some kind of wasp plague at the time, and they have in Germany, they're very, very keen on litter bins, which is great. They don't.
When we made the previous video and you said you're always interrupting people, I was halfway through a story.
Sorry,
then.
I do interrupt people. I'm sorry. I do. I'm sorry. I will shut up.
Anyway, we're in Spain having breakfast, and we were being plagued by wasps, and there was one just in front of my dad, and he flicked it, and it went from his end of the table down to my end of the table, straight down my top like that, and stung me. I was traumatised.
Did you blame your dad or the wasp?
Well,
who were you most angry with?
I did quite an odd dance. I removed my clothes fairly rapidly. Yeah, very dramatic, very dramatic. Yeah. Right, we can go back to your story now.
I was just saying that in Germany they're very keen on not putting litter on the floor, which is great. So they have litter bins. Every 2 meters was another litter bin, and every litter bin was a swarm.
Oh God!
So it was a traumatic experience. Natalie got stung by a wasp in Turkey as well. So Turkish wasps also in the bin.
All wasps in the bin. And what do wasps actually have an ecological purpose? Are they?
I don't know. Bumblebees are important. We know that.
Yes, we know
bees
that.
in general.
Bees. I like a bee. Yeah. Nothing
also,
against
they
bees.
They their own business, don't they?
They do, don't they? They come around. You sort of waft them away, and off they go to a flower.
You can talk sense to a bee. You can say, "Not now. I'm busy," and off it goes.
Wasps persistent, so persistent. So wasps can get in the bin. They are ruining my summers, and yeah,
we only get summer on a Tuesday from 2 till 4 p.m. and we don't need wasps in it.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah. Okay.
They can go. Right.
I challenge anyone in the comments to say why they think wasps shouldn't go in.
Well, if they have an ecological purpose, do let us know as well. If they're essential to.
Yeah, like if all the wasps suddenly disappeared, would the ecology just collapse because, like cockroaches, are they important to ecology?
I don't know.
Because they're practically indestructible, aren't they? Don't they reckon that even when the world ends, the cockroaches will be fine?
Oh, yeah.
And what's the point? How do cockroaches feel about wasps?
Well, if they'd eat them, that would be nice.
My second one is going to be controversial because I am aware that these things exist for a very good reason. But they are bloody annoying, and it is cardboard straws. Now, I would like to preface this by saying I am 100% on board with the reduction of single-use plastic. 100%. I am aware that single-use plastic is a dreadful, dreadful thing, and that we needed to get rid of plastic straws. But the cardboard straws...
And the paper ones as well.
They don't work. They don't work. Literally within seconds of a cardboard straw hitting liquid, it dissolves into paper mache.
How has nobody invented a good alternative?
Well, the Costco, you don't go to Costco, do you? Because you don't have one around here, and you've said a multitude times, come with me. Yeah. Costco have got a lid on their plastic cups that has the sippy point as you put it to your mouth, your nose presses the finger, and so your drink, and so it closes, so you don't need a straw. It works a treat. So why hasn't everybody adopted that instead of cardboard? Cardboard straws are abysmal. They don't work. Like I said, I get that we can't go back to plastic.
People would say don't use the straw.
People will say carry your own straw.
However, when you are somebody who wears lipstick and you're out for an evening and you've got a drink with ice in it and stuff, particularly abroad, I noticed this. I don't, you know, will take all your lipstick off.
If you're driving and you've got a drink in the cup holder, you need a straw, because as the driver, you can't pick up and gauge a full cup. You can't do that. So there are times when you need a straw, and again, people will say, well, you can get those reusable ones, but the problem for me is that I bought a reusable one and then I took it out and I used it and I put it back in my handbag dirty, and I never remember to take it out and wash it up, so the next time I want to use it, it's still dirty from the last time.
I bought some glass straws recently.
Limit to how many of them you can carry in your handbag though.
Well, I bought some glass straws. I leave them in the house. I only use them in the house. I was using one the other day. The drink fell. This is the second time recently. This afternoon I've dropped a can of Coke off the desk here since we started filming, and it was in a glass with drink in with a glass straw. And long story short, the glass straw smashed to smithereens.
Yeah.
And was really quite nasty.
The drink is,
yeah, so you can't drink the drink because the glass. Yeah. I mean, I know that's not going to happen all the time, but for little kids,
they should be toughened glass or something, shouldn't they?
Well, you would
shouldn't they be made out of bus shelters? Bus shelters are made out of stuff that doesn't break, aren't they?
And then you can get metal straws, but metal straws have a nasty taste. I don't like a metal straw now.
See, my reusable one was a fold. It's a single use. It's a reusable plastic straw, and it folds up like a walking stick.
Yes.
But I never remember to take it when I've used it. I never remember that I need to take it into the house, clean it, put it back in the handbag. So,
and also, how easy are they to clean?
Well, they come with the long pokey, like a pipe cleaner thing. They come with one of those, but they're not the easiest thing in the world.
No. Yeah. But cardboard straws, no good.
Bin.
Yeah,
in the bin.
Definitely in the bin. Ruin a good drink.
Yeah.
My second one is 24-hour rolling news, and you've been in this house long enough to know that my husband is quite a fan of it, isn't he?
He likes to watch the news, he does, and that's fine.
Not only does he like to watch the news, I'm talking quietly because he's currently
watching the news.
He likes to have it on in the background when he's not watching it. And I don't like 24-hour rolling news at the best of times. I think it's filled up with far too...
Good news. Sorry, I've interrupted again.
No, it's fine. But it's so full of speculation and opinion, and as you say, most of it is bad news, and it's feeding you misery. Do you remember the good old days when the news bulletin was something that happened for 20 minutes at midday?
And at the end of it, there was something cheerful, always, wasn't there? Yes.
And there was only they told you what had happened. There wasn't, endless film of misery. And whilst I'm not saying that we shouldn't be informed about what's going on in the world, there seems to be a lot of dwelling and over-information these
and predictions of further doom. That's the other thing. It used to be these are the things that have happened. Now it's these are the things we're worried will happen.
And it's all to fill up this rolling 24-hour news cycle. I think the world would be a lot better place if we went back to the half-hour news bulletins twice a day and cut down on.
It used to be news at 1 and news at 10, and it would be doom, doom, gloom, dead person, doom, and now a roller skating horse. And you'd go off going, it's a roller skating horse, that's quite good, isn't it? And now it's like doom, 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 gloom, and now everyone's dead. Oh.
And now we're going to have another 12 hours of that.
So I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't think we need 24-hour rolling news.
There's a lot of things we don't
We have the internet, so if you suddenly go, I want to know the news, you can go and get it yourself.
Yeah.
You don't need to have...
I feel like I need to possibly apologise for the light, because the light is doing very weird things outside. So if
I think it's making us look better.
I think it's golden out.
I think it's improving me.
But if there's been changes in the light, apologies. But that's my number 2. So a final one, Carla. What's your number 3?
This is quite a specific one.
Niche.
Most people, it's a very niche one. Most people won't be having a problem with this. I mean, most male people will think, although I don't know. Some people might be annoyed with that. Chin hairs. Chin hairs in women of a certain age, mostly. Although I suppose
I'm looking down to see if you've got
I think I got them all before I came out this morning. But obviously I accept, and I'm dealing with this in a light-hearted way. But I realise there's people who have PCOS and stuff, and they are dealing with this on a much grander scale than I am having to. And I get that, and I feel for you. As I have hit menopausal age, I am becoming David Bellamy. Just gradually. I don't understand. I have a little clutch of 4 or 5 chin hairs here, and they come through dark, and they come through rapid. So I can pluck them and then think, well, that'll be it. Surely that'll do me for a couple of weeks. I look the next day and there's a 3-foot chin there. What's happening? Is it my diet? Is it the HRT? Am I actually becoming David Bellamy?
Well, you wouldn't have thought so.
For anyone who doesn't know who David Bellamy is, we'll see if we can stick in a picture on the screen. Because oh god, it's raining again. Yeah, I get a patch here, and then there's a couple that come over here, and then every now and again I'll be minding my own business, and I'll look in the rear view mirror on the car. Not the actual rear view mirror, but the visor mirror. And there'll be one here going boing, 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 and they grow at a rapid rate of knots.
I've been quite lucky. I don't.
Have you not had mine?
Touch wood. Touch wood here. I don't want to wake up with a beard in the morning.
Wake up with a bearded lady. Yeah. But yeah, so chin hairs, get in the bin.
Yeah, they can get in the bin.
Get in the bin.
Yeah.
And I thought about those electrolysis. They're called a no-no, and you can get a little no-no and.
I thought that was the Hoover on Teletubbies.
No, that's the no-no. But equally, if it works, I'll take it. But no, a no-no is a little hairless device thing.
Sorry,
it's belting down. You might be able to hear the rain. It's suddenly emptied down. It was quite a nice day a minute ago.
It's been like this on and off all day, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to discuss the weather now. I'm very middle-aged.
The weather, that can get in the bin.
Shocking. Today's weather can definitely get in the bin.
It's really hammering down. Yeah. But yeah, so my chin hairs and all the chin hairs of anyone who doesn't want them, they can get in the bin. If you enjoy your beard, good for you. And yes, I realise that in 2023, everyone can have a beard if they want one. I don't want mine.
Fair enough. My final one is vaping.
Ooh.
Controversial.
That's going to be a controversial one, yeah.
Now, vaping as a replacement for smoking for people who wanted to give up smoking, yes, I get it. I think it is probably better for you. I don't think there's been enough testing to
it's
say
early days, isn't it?
Yeah.
They thought cigarettes were good for you once, didn't they?
Well, yeah.
If you went to the doctors in the 1920s and said you were anxious, they'd say, go and have a cigarette. So
yeah. You could obviously get a doctor's appointment in those days. Yeah, so as a replacement for smoking, I get it. But there are 2 reasons, really. People have single-use vapes. It's back to the single-use plastic thing, isn't it? You see them all over the road, all over everywhere. They last 5 minutes, and they're great big lumps of plastic that are going to take thousands of years to biodegrade. So why they were allowed in the first place?
Seems very odd that they said
such a new thing. You can't have a straw, but notwithstanding the turtle situation, obviously there's that as well. But how can they have even been legislated, to be allowed in the first place? Kids everywhere vaping. That's my other thing. 12-year-olds vaping and seeming to be able to buy vapes and endless vape shops.
And vaping openly, whereas they wouldn't have smoked openly. If you smoked at 12, you went and hid somewhere and did it, didn't you? Because you weren't meant to be
behind the bike sheds.
Yeah, whereas vaping, I don't know if there's legal age for vaping, but they don't seem to be...
I don't think you can buy them below 16, but I don't know. But I think there needs to be some legislation around vaping pretty quickly, particularly the single-use vapes, because there are shops selling them presumably by the thousands a week. You couldn't really have a whole shop, could you, without selling thousands?
No, so people are having whole shops that only sell that, aren't they? So,
environmental nightmare, not that good for you, and apparently very appealing to children, I assume, because of all the flavours, the fruity flavours, and
On the plus side of vaping, I would much rather walk through a cloud of somebody's exhaled vape smoke than a cloud of somebody's exhaled cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
If a waft of somebody's vape smoke gets to you, at least it's not, it's quite a pleasant smell. Whereas second-hand cigarette smoke is very unpleasant. I went to the car boot sale this morning, somebody was smoking in one of the sheds, which you're not meant to, and the smell is just horrible. I'm like, I don't know, that's awful. Whereas vaping doesn't have that effect second-hand quite the same, does it?
It's funny, isn't it, how years ago, I don't know if you're a pub goer or not, as a non-drinker, but...
I was in my...
Yeah, years... Well, you do pub quiz and stuff, don't you? But do you remember when people smoked in pubs and you would literally come home from an evening at the pub, take off all your clothes, and they'd all have to be washed because whether you smoked or not, I mean, I was a smoker in those days, but... wash all your clothes, everything stank, and your hair and everything.
Isn't it bizarre to remember that in restaurants, people at the next table would spark up a cigarette because they'd finished their meal.
You're eating your dinner.
And they like, The idea of that now is just astounding.
Absolutely.
The idea that somebody would blow cigarette smoke over your meal, it's just absolutely astonishing that we ever thought that was acceptable. And yet we did. We all said, oh, I've finished my cigarette. Don't mind about you and your lobster thermidor. This is very much the theme of this.
I think that's the first time we mentioned it in this video. Got a theme of today is lobster thermidor. I won't bore you with the details.
But isn't it odd, it's only 2005 that they banned indoor smoking. So it's only been 18 years, which doesn't sound like that long, that you haven't. And yet now it's the most bizarre thing.
Yeah, can't imagine it. Yeah. Anyway, that's our 6 items for Room 101 today. Let us know what you think.
And come over to my channel at some point when it appears there, and there'll be another 6 there.
Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.